We were pretty excited to be able to go to Japan after 3 long years. So here's some of the highlights of our recent Tokyo trip, including, of course, some figures. Here's some of the great food we had throughout the trip. We obviously had a lot of sushi, from conveyor belt sushi to Michelin-starred sushi restaurants. Daiwa Sushi in Toyosu Market was not bad, but their price went up again. We feel that Sushi Fukumoto is much better. It's a very reasonable price for a 1-star Michelin restaurant. We're definitely going back here again. We wouldn't miss out on the amazing desserts in Japan, starting with the strawberry mochis. We had a lot of matcha desserts too. We just love how they aren't too sweet and the flavor of matcha is just right. We do prefer Saryo Sujiri over Nakamura Tokichi Honten though. But by far, the best dessert we had was the Mont Blanc from Waguria. The strong yet delicate chestnut flavor is so perfect in that creamy texture. We love specialty coffee, and just so happens Japan has a lot of great coffee places. Blue Bottle is pretty readily available and is really good for a chain store. But surprisingly, Uniqlo has coffee, and it's actually not bad. We popped by Ogawa Coffee Laboratory, but it was disappointing, since the coffee wasn't that good for the price, and their categories of sorting coffee seems a bit unconventional, which makes it very hard to pick the type of coffee we actually like. But Coffee Mamaya and Coffee Mamaya Kakeru were simply amazing. If you're a fan of specialty coffee, we would definitely suggest you try them out. Each drink from the tasting menu contains the same beans, but each course brings out a different side of the bean. Highly recommended. We tried to go to a different onsen each Japan trip, and this time we gave Kai Sengokuhara a try. It seems to be more of an artsy hotel. Their room is nice and big with good furnishings and a spectacular view, but some of the amenities could be better at this price point. For example, the water kettle was kinda crap, and little things like the drinks in the fridge are not included in the room price. The private onsen in the room is rather small too, but it does face that amazing view. The food was okay. We gave them our dietary restrictions and they made the proper changes to the menu, which is great. The dishes were very detailed and pretty, but the level of the ingredients wasn't up to the standard we'd expect for this price point. For example, the main entree for dinner was replaced because of our dietary restrictions to just grilled salmon, and the main dish for breakfast was grilled yam steak. Knowing that the Gundam Factory in Yokohama is going to close in March, we had to get in and see this movable Gundam for ourselves.
なぜ自分の命を懸けてまでアクシスを止めようとしたんですか。それは自然なことだよ。未来へ向かって人の可能性をつないでいく。そのために必要なことなら命だってかけられるということだ。誰だ？誰と話している？
間違いありません。音声信号は F00 自身から発信されています。
まさかオリジナル AI？ オリジナル AI が自らの意思でメッセージを送っているというのか。
As you can see, the Gundam is actually quite slow, and the movements aren't very natural. Still, pretty cool to see this in person, the true scale of one of these smaller mobile suits. Now to what you've all been waiting for, the figures. It seems to be a thing nowadays to have one-to-one scale figures to promote whatever it is you're promoting. So imagine our surprise when we saw a one-to-one Mizuhara Chizuru in a department store. But at least that was to promote a figure. We went to the pop-up shop for Ground Y and Chainsaw Man collab and saw a one-to-one Makima. At the Kadokawa Book Museum, we saw these massive statues of Ainz and Albedo, which looks really impressive up close. There's also a one-to-one scale Ram in a kimono, which was also based on a 1/8 figure from Kadokawa, of course. Most of the figures we saw in person is from the Amiyami Radio Kaiken store. Their huge display case right at the entrance is always amazing to see. Didn't know that 3-0 made Jujutsu Kaisen dolls, and they actually look pretty good. In person, Bomber Girl's sepia is much bigger than I thought she'd be for a 1/6 scale figure. This Iris figure looks not bad in person, but it actually doesn't look as delicate as the prototype photos. Melty-chan looks great for such a small figure. I hope the final product is as good as this. So that was some of the highlights of our recent trip. If you have any suggestions for places to go or things to do in Tokyo, let us know in the comments. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.